April 30th, 1944. In a pozzolana quarry north of Napoli, the stillness of the morning is shattered by the summary justice of war. 4 young agents of the Italian Social Republic await their fate before an American firing squad. These are no conventional soldiers. They are volunteers of the special services of the RSI, captured behind Allied lines in the course of a sabotage mission. Having operated without regulation uniform, the Geneva Convention affords them no protection. War has its rules. The execution was divided into 2 acts. At 09:45, the first to be led to the posts are the Roman Mario Tapoli, an 18-year-old medical student, and the Neapolitan Vincenzo Tedesco, aged 19. The records of this first round are scarce and of limited quality. Yet the testimonies of those present describe Tedesco maintaining an unshakable smile to the very last. Tapoli, for his part, refused the blindfold with a composure bordering on insolence, and further requested that his shirt be removed. He had no wish, he said, to have it riddled with lead, a gesture that his 2 remaining comrades would not hesitate to emulate. 2 hours later, at 11:45, it was the turn of Franco Ascieri and Italo Palese. Ascieri was 18 years old and hailed from Milan. Palese, 21, was a laborer born in L'Aquila. Unlike the first execution, this one was captured by Allied cameras with considerably greater clarity. Both young men displayed the same composure as their already executed comrades. Palese, however, went further. He stripped off his shirt, baring his torso before the American soldiers, and made his final request as a deliberate act of defiance. He asked for a cigarette to be lit for him. The footage then captures the final moment. With both men bound to the posts, Ascieri's cry, "Viva il Duce!" rings out across the stillness of the quarry.
Italo Palese has already let the cigarette fall.
His last words are neither a plea nor a farewell, but a stark declaration that would become his epitaph. May God damn the English! An instant later, the crack of the rifles returned the quarry to that sepulchral silence with which that April morning had begun. An instant later, the rifles spoke, and the quarry was returned to that same sepulchral silence with which the April morning had begun. 4 young men, 4 names that history, in its indifference, nearly swallowed whole. They had come not as conscripts dragged by duty, but as volunteers drawn by conviction, whatever one may think of the cause they served. They died as they had chosen to live, without apology, without appeal, without the comfort of surrender. Tapoli shed his shirt so that lead might find him cleanly. Tedesco kept his smile as though death were merely the next appointment. Ascieri gave the quarry his final salute to a crumbling dream, and Palese, with a lit cigarette between his lips and a curse upon his last breath, made defiance itself. His final sacrament. The Geneva Convention had deemed them unworthy of its protections. War had rendered its verdict, but in those last moments before the volley, stripped to the skin and bound to their posts, they possessed something that no tribunal could confiscate and no bullet could reach: the absolute ownership of how a man meets his end. The smoke from the rifles dissipated slowly in the cool morning air of the quarry north of Naples. It was the 30th of April, 1944. They were 18, 19, 21 years old.